I got to get my grad student to get the slide projector out. Hold on a second here. So there's 2,400 yards of pneumatic pipe, right? It ended 560 yards short of the Dalkey station, right? So that led to a couple problems, right?
Only a third of a mile. That's fine.
Yeah. Sometimes the train would undershoot the platform.
Just runs to a stop on air is the funniest thing I can imagine. Yeah. We're just like, that's wonderful.
Just start blowing on a sail. But no, what actually happened is that then the passengers had to get off and push. There was one incident where the pneumatic locomotive was accidentally uncoupled from the train.
Oh, good.
And it shot off at high speed. You know, that the claim is that it made the full journey in about 75 seconds, just over 2 miles in 75 seconds.
That's not bad.
Well, that would probably make it the first railway vehicle to exceed 100 miles per hour.
Just this fucking raft with a terrified man trying to fucking make some toast or something, and he's the first person to be going over land at 100 miles an hour. Like I say, you don't get this kind of innovation anymore, you know?
As I said, this is a Looney Tunes system.
Yeah, like I feel like this is one of the like harmless fun ones we do, unless your next slide is and it killed 500 people somehow. This one feels more like a palate cleanser.
It didn't kill anyone. Apart from putting the fear of God into one person, yes. The ambient heat from just the high temperatures melted the tallow mixture without, the heating element, right?
Oh, it's gotta smell so good.
But there was the problem of rats. Flash image of Pete Buttigieg here. The rats got in the pipes. They wanted to eat the tallow. And then, there's a bunch of rats in the pipe. And then they turned the vacuum pumps on. And they all got sucked out, or they all got annihilated and turned into viscera when the train went by, right?
No.
They just otherwise gruesomely murdered.
Oh no! The guy who has to stand at the end of the vacuum
clean out the rat smoothie. Yeah,
I'm the guy who cleans out the rat viscera.
That's the only guy who should have his own special union. Is the guy who has to bolt the cover off and have a fucking stream of rats and rat parts just jet outwards like a fucking fountain. The idea of you get on this nice quiet train with no noise to mask any of this, and you set off in your stovepipe hat with your best girl on your arm, and it sets off from the station with the noise of 100 rats just being crunched. How do you keep a vacuum in a pipe that is mostly rat blood by this point?
Shake hands for danger.
Hi, it's Justin. So this is a commercial for the podcast that you're already listening to. People are annoyed by these, so let me get to the point. We have this thing called Patreon, right? The deal is you give us $2 a month, and we give you an extra episode once a month. Sometimes it's a little inconsistent, but, it's $2. You get what you pay for. It also gets you our full back catalog of bonus episodes, so you can learn about exciting topics like guns, pickup trucks, or pickup trucks with guns on them. The money we raise through Patreon goes to making sure that the only ad you hear on this podcast is this one. Anyway, that's something to consider if you have $2 to spare each month. Join at patreon.com/WTYP pod. Do it if you want. Or don't. It's your decision, and we respect that. Back to the show. Well,
thank you for your money.
Thanks. We need
yes.
it. Listeners, please be aware that I am going to spend so much of your money.
Today, we're live from space!
One.
This is the most delicious battle. Where am I going with this? I don't know where
Welcome to the technical difficulties.
So,
Anyways,
Benjamin Franklin was in attendance and was said to be impressed.
Of course he was. He was f***ing everywhere back then.
yeah, and f***ing everywhere.
And,
Just fucking
And getting
everywhere.
high on everything.
Mhm.
Yes.
and also possibly being a serial killer.
Yeah, what a f***ing king. Dude
I
had
know, right?
so much going on. I can barely get out of bed in the morning. And here's Ben Franklin, f***ing MILFs, going to France, fucking French
Yes.
MILFs, inventing a glass organ, possibly doing a series of murders, and
Yes.
like watching the invention of the balloon. Holy
One of our boys.
He gets around.
yeah. Gets around.
So-
Met the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Probably was the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah. Undetected serial killer known as the Kool-Aid man.
Ben Franklin just bursting through like some poor peasant shack and just being like, "Oh, I'm off to go grave digging again."
Here I go killing again.
And he invented Kool-Aid eventually.
Yeah, that's right.
Shake hands for danger.
So, nonetheless, despite this balloon being destroyed, lighter than air flight was proven to work.
Just reading the note. They filled the first hydrogen balloon by dumping 1/4 of a ton of sulfuric acid onto half a ton of scrap iron and fed it into a silk balloon with lead pipes.
Back
Dude,
then you could do
Yes.
back then you could do science however you wanted
It was so dangerous to be around anything.
Oh my god!
Yeah, this is one of the stranger features of capital is sometimes the bourgeois dumps a toxic balloon on you.
Yeah. So then we get the Montgolfier brothers who figured you could just, instead of using inflammable air, you could just use hot air, right?
You mean we don't
Yeah.
need to dump the sulfuric acid onto the iron and lead?
Yeah, we don't have to make a poison toxic bomb.
Yeah, you could
Have a
just
light
like build
fire.
a fire.
Yeah, you're fine.
And they were right. So on October 19th, 1783, after several balloon flights where they sent up sheep and chickens,
Cool.
A small dinner.
they lit a fire for the to send up the first manned balloon to Globe Aerostatique.
Looks very fancy.
It is
know,
very
it's a
much
big-
like a rich person project. If
I gotta
it's
say,
decorated like that.
the faces on it kind of freak the hell out of me.
Oh,
It's
you don't
made
like
by
the
skin.
like
Fabergé egg.
yeah.
It,
You don't-
turns out that the only balloon material you could get at this time was human skin. So those faces are just on there.
The one that really f***s me up is that there are books bound in human skin.
Oh yeah.
I just
Oh, yeah.
nope.
It's good leather.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you, Mia. That's
It's set in
helpful.
a very Viking tone there.
That's what I'm just saying.
It
I'm Viking. I have a history degree. I know some weird.
If it works, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're dead. You're not using that skin anymore.
Well, a lot of the
Exactly.
the
It's
human leather
recycling.
books are like
Yeah.
scholars, right? They're like monks who are like, no, I love books so much, I want to be one once I'm dead. Which metal?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very metal.
I guess the equivalent would be if you could somehow digitize my skin after I die and make me into a YouTube video.
Yeah, 200 years later, somebody's watching the YouTube video and they get kind of a creepy feeling and they look up the header and it's like, oh, this is made of skin.
Shake hands for danger.
You're my pal, and I would love to not insult your human dignity more than I already do.
Okay, then, buddy.
Oh my god. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. A little man for scale right here.
Oh, that's your little man.
I've made him into an amogus. What is an ICBM?
Intercontinental bowel movement. I see
Nailed it.
bowel movement.
It's called
Right through the ISS.
irritable contra-bowel syndrome. I don't know.
Intercontinental ballistic missile. It's intercontinental because it goes between continents, and it's a ballistic missile because it goes up and then it comes down, right? Now, why do you need an intercontinental ballistic missile?
Show off, driving a parade, drive a bunch of them in a parade.
Nuke the Soviets.
Well, let's say you have a friend, right? And you want to deliver that
Already
friend,
unrealistic.
you want to deliver that friend a present very quickly from a long way away.
Okay.
Sure.
But because it's Friends Day, that friend is also trying to deliver you a present, and you want to get your present there more quickly. So it's a surprise.
Tell me, am I trying to deliver this present to like airburst above a major intersection of their house?
That is one option for the present. Now the present's also very heavy, right? And you have to get it a long way away very quickly because your friend lives a long way away. What you do is you can put the present on top of an intercontinental ballistic missile, and you can fire it, and it comes back down and lands somewhere in the vicinity of your friend's house.
Totally irradiating your friend in the process, but who gives a shit about
Well,
that?
I didn't say what kind of present it was.
And that's why it's important that your friend lives far away, because you want to be outside the range of this present.
Yes.
When he receives it.
And there's some more like tactics here, like if you want second present capability, you know, you want to.
I got a feeling we're not talking about presents anymore.
Yeah.
Shake hands for danger.
We conduct this very professionally here on Well There's Your
That's
Puzzle,
right.
the only podcast.
It's the only podcast. We're the best podcast. I hope you all are well, and the subject of today's pod wasn't too depressing or existentially soul-crushing. I want to share a story of blatant management disregard for worker safety. This comes from a brief stint where I worked as a production supervisor in a small cannery.
Ah.
Let me explain first a little about the process at this cannery.
You take the stuff, you put it in a can, you seal the can.
Yes. We made canned pet food pate out of meats, grains, and vegetables.
I like the idea of pet feud.
Pet feud.
Yeah.
These were loaded into weigh bins and onto scales by a crew of 4 to 5 workers. We called this ingredient loading area the meat deck.
I would not enjoy working on the meat deck.
I like meat. Meat's delicious.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I have to work on the meat deck.
yeah, I'm up on the meat deck.
Deck.
We called this ingredient loading area the meat deck, as the crew spent most of their time loading 50-pound blocks of frozen meat onto a belt that fed a crusher and grinder.
Yeah, like, you know, reconstituted circus animals or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's horse meat with traces of jockey meat. The meat deck crew worked 12-hour shifts,
I
usually
really wish
4
you'd stop
days a
saying
week.
meat deck.
How bad do you want a meat deck crew t-shirt?
I want the meat deck t-shirt. Yeah, that'd be good. So some of the meat deck crew.
You're really gonna say it like that every time, huh?
Yeah. Whatever, just get on board, I guess.
The meat deck was where
Jesus.
was where most of our minor injuries occurred, as people would frequently drop frozen meat blocks on their feet or hands.
I hate this podcast so much, dude.
I'm picturing a perfect Minecraft block.
Cube,
right?
yeah.
1 cubic meter.
Sphere of meat.
Yeah.
No, it's
you drop this
cubic meter of meat.
Shake hands for danger.
Is it working?
Oh my god, I'm the mayor.
Building that's the bane of my existence.
Is that a bug or are they just really cool?
I think they might just be really cool.
Yeah, match 3 on that keyboard. Let's go.
Someone says we got to build a police station. This is where you go to live in the pod and eat the bugs. Okay, so that was the episode. Here are a few channel updates, and then I'll do the commercial.